The Grey Cup next week. We have pictures from Regina. We may have some audio problems, but we're going to send you to Regina for the Western Final in progress.
Thank you, Rod. We've waited 33 years for a Western Final in Regina, and 4 minutes and 45 seconds as well. We apologize for the technical problems. What a scene here at Mosaic. Loudest ever, although Calgary has done a good job early of trying to silence this crowd with a field goal on their opening drive and a 2-and-out for the Saskatchewan Roughriders on their first possession.
And the crowd making it very difficult in that first series for the Calgary offense, and they're turning up the volume again in Series 2.
Play fake to Reynolds, and downtown for Rombie Bryant through his hands. Incomplete as he works on the veteran Omar Morgan on the corner.
It's sold out in a day.
Can you get to security?
Second and 10. Across the middle, here's R.J. Franklin with a catch. A touchdown last week, and then he fumbled the football. Roughriders are on it. Let's see if they're ruling him down or not. And they do rule Franklin down at midfield.
The ball carrier was down by contact. Result of the play will be Calgary first down.
Ruling on the field is down by contact. R.J. Franklin on his way down to the ground. When did the ball come out?
Ted Cornegay trying to rip it out of there.
He has control. He's lost control. Challenge flags out. The left knee was down, but when was it down?
You saw the Stampeders go to the quick huddle. They wanted to go no huddle to try and get the next play going.
No, he should be. I'm just hoping I was down for it.
But enough time for the challenge flag from the Saskatchewan bench.
Let's take one more look at it. It's the timing between when that ball was jarred loose by Tad Cornegay and when the left knee of R.J. Franklin touched the ground.
Saskatchewan is challenging the ruling in the field that the ball carrier was down by contact. The play will be reviewed.
Saw Shea Emery rip one out early in the Eastern Final that got things rolling for Montreal.
Here we go. Contact made there. Knees on the ground there. Knee has touched. Now, has that ball been jarred loose? To overturn this call, which is a catch and down by contact. What the command center will have to determine here is whether or not R.J. Franklin had lost control of the football, even though it was close to his body. Had he lost control? Was the ball loose when his knee touches, which is right there? So the knee has touched.
And the ball is still in his hands, but is it secure? That's the question. That's a tough call.
That is a tough call, and they're going to have to overturn the call and find enough evidence to do so.
So very early in this one, a critical call ending from the command center in Toronto.
Calgary Stampeders got away with a bit of a play here anyway because there were two receivers in the same area in Nick Lewis and R.J. Franklin. See if they
Upon
get catch.
review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Calgary.
You know, I think it's the right call, Chris, in that there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it, but it was that close.
Almost simultaneous, but I think they're right. Franklin with a first down catch on a big second down conversion for John Hufnagel's squad. Mateo Johnson in motion. And here's Joffrey Reynolds, who turned it up in the first series, flagged down as he's tossed to the turf at the 45, close to a first down.
And this may be coming back.
Holding call against the Stampeders.
Holding. Calgary number 62. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Second penalty against the left guard, Jesse Newman. Starting quarterbacks are brought to you by Wendy's Baconator, the official hamburger of the CFL.
Henry Burris coming off the win versus the Edmonton Eskimos in the West semifinal, over 4,800 yards passing. Very similar stats to Darian Durant. For the first time, as you mentioned, since 1976, led his football team to home playoff advantage, home field advantage in the West Final.
First and 20, flag down. And Joffrey Reynolds up close to midfield. And again, some early movement along the line.
Offside. Saskatchewan, number 26. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So Kipwana Jones was offside. They take the penalty, and it's first and 15. You'll see a lot of movement on that Saskatchewan defense. Reynolds again, this time to the right side, and another marker as Joffrey Reynolds is stopped at midfield, which was the original line of scrimmage, following the blocks of Dimitris Sumpas and Jeff Pilon.
Looked like someone in the interior of the Rider defensive line moved. I'm not sure if they got into the neutral zone, though. That may have been holding at the point of attack against the Stampeders.
Holding. Calgary, number 64. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
10-year veteran Jeff Pilon.
But it's a matchup that we're going to watch closely because Pilon is going to be up against Stevie Baggs or John Chick. Throughout this football game, you can see Joffrey Reynolds gets the corner because Jeff Pilon turns Stevie Baggs.
And now it's first and 25. Pressure. And Burris on a run, drops it off, and Demetrius Summers with a catch down the sidelines.
Take a look at the starting lineup for the Calgary Stampeders. Mentioned Henry Burris, over 4,800 yards passing. He'll have the #1 rusher in the Canadian Football League in Joffrey Reynolds. He had 15.04 in the regular season. Receiving core with Jermaine Copeland and Nick Lewis at the slot back positions, and Tim O'Neill will play for Rob Lazio, who was injured in the semifinal against Edmonton at center.
Starting lineup brought to you by Nissan, Bantam, proud sponsor of the CFL. 15 for Summers, so it's second and 10. More heat. Stevie Baggs after Henry Burris, who throws back into traffic, and it's knocked down. Dangerous pass, and Sean Lucas was there in coverage for Saskatchewan.
It's dangerous for two reasons. One is Henry Burris, as athletically gifted as he rolls to this direction, he throws against the flow, against the direction he's running, which is a difficult throw to make for any quarterback and very dangerous back into the middle. Also, he has two receivers in the exact same spot because of the scramble situation in Joffrey Reynolds and Nick Lewis. Fortunately, he didn't have it intercepted there.
See, Burkdale's had a big game in the Western Semi against Edmonton. Lets this one fly, not as deep, and Armstead will cross the 20 and step out at the 24. We're midway through the first quarter of the Western Final in Regina. The CFL on TSN West Finals brought to you in part by Wendy's Baconator, the official hamburger of the CFL. And by Rona, proud sponsor of the Canadian Football League. Rona, doing it right since 1939. Second possession for Saskatchewan, a 2-and-out to start, including a sack of Darian Durant and Now former Stampeder Wes Cates will get stacked up and tossed back. Charleston Hughes and the middle linebacker Tim Johnson are there.
Wes Cates just shy of 1,000 yards rushing on the season, 932 in the regular season. In the backfield behind Darian Durant, there's a receiving core. One new starter in there, Adam Nicholson, gets a chance to start at slot back. We will see Jason Claremont, and there's the offensive line with Jeremy O'Day in the middle at center.
2 weeks ago when they met on 8-second and longs, Darian Durant went to Andy Fantuz, completed 7 for first downs. 2nd and 10, and that pass is incomplete. He was looking for Andy Fantuz. Penalty flag on the field.
John Eubanks played very physical as Fantuz tried to make his break.
And the stamps indicating it's against Saskatchewan.
Pass interference. Calgary. First down.
Andre Prue had another thought.
There's Andy Fantuz, and watch right here as John Eubanks gets physical right as Fantuz is going to make his break. He wants to get up at about 4 or 5 yards. There's the grab and pull on the shoulder pad. That's the pass interference. That'll give Darian Durant a new set of downs.
Fantuz with 22 catches in his last 2 starts against Calgary. Bunch to the short side. Durant looked that way under pressure and now throws downfield and wide open. It was incomplete, intended to Jerron Walker, who came back for the football but delivered short of the target.
Defensively for the Calgary Stampeders, a team that ranked in the middle of the pack against the run and the pass. There's the defensive line with Charleston Hughes, the leader in that group. Tim Johnson is the run stopper in the middle. Shannon James will get matched up on Andy Fantuz throughout this game. There's your secondary with the strength of the Calgary Stampeders defense being outside with Dwight Anderson and Brandon Brown.
Another 2nd and 10. And Saskatchewan goes to a 6-pack of receivers. Durant under pressure again. That's incomplete. Intended for Getzlaff. So Saskatchewan's offense off to a slow start after driving for a touchdown on their first possession 2 weeks ago.
Well, and the reason for it is because they are not having success on first down. And it is surprising, Chris, because when you look at what Darian Durant has done against the Calgary Stampeders in 3 games this year, you think that he's going to get this offense rolling out of the gate. Now, there's always that question. The team that gets the bye, will they be a little slow out of the gate because of that extra week off? I think right now you give credit to the Calgary Stampeders defensively, especially on first down.
Alouettes didn't look slow out of the gate. Marcus Howell. And he is forced out near the Calgary bench up around the 45-yard line. The CFL on TSN West Final is brought to you in part by Weiser's Canadian Whiskey. Welcome to the Society for Uncompromising Men. Welcome to the Weiser Hood.
Welcome to the jungle. Mosaic.
3-0 on a 47-yard Sandro DeAngelis field goal. And Joffrey Reynolds has run well in this first quarter and gets outside. Back into Roughrider territory to the Saskatchewan 50, and they haven't stopped Reynolds yet.
No, they haven't. Joffrey Reynolds, 3 games in the regular season, even though Calgary did not win one of them. Joffrey Reynolds did his thing. Just shy of 350 yards in those 3 games, over 100 yards in each one of them. And he gets the corner there.
3 times 100 yards on the year against Saskatchewan, and of his 28 100-yard games, 8 against the Roughriders, 17 on that. And he's 4 for 33 in the first quarter. Forrest checks down to Reynolds, and Tad Cornegay there to drop him at about the line of scrimmage.
Tad Cornegay, one guy that will be matched up in the slot back position with the Calgary Stampeders. There's their D-line with John Chick and Stevie Baggs, 23 combined sacks. Mentioned Cornegay, he's key in the pass coverage from the linebacking core. And then a secondary that gets Eddie Davis back at halfback. Missed the last 2 games of the regular season with an injury. He's back, and they need the veteran.
Little tweet war yesterday between Nick Lewis and Tad Cornegay. Now they're dueling on the field instead of on the internet, and Lewis brought down by Stevie Baggs, the Western Division All-Star, with a big tackle.
Stevie Baggs is patient, going to line up inside, and then just be patient with Henry Burris. Not go after him, not try and commit. He's just going to hang on the line of scrimmage. He smells this one and sniffs it out and is right there to make the tackle on Nick Lewis. He had 55 of them in the regular season. There's a big one.
So it brings Burke Dales back on. Armstead is deep. And Dales will look for the corner. Armstead lets it go, and it kicks out just inside the 5-yard line. So again, Saskatchewan backed up in this first quarter. That's a perfect 46-yarder by Burke Dales.
Absolutely perfect punt from Burke Dales. The right decision for Jason Armstead to let that hit the ground. What he's hoping is that'll go through the end zone, and they will get that field position. But perfectly placed, and it puts Darian Durant in a hole.
Dr. Durant yesterday, just prior to his first playoff start, said he was nervous 2 weeks ago in the showdown for first, but didn't feel nervous in the lead up to this game. From his end zone, and he's got a completion. There is a flag and an injured Stampeder in that Saskatchewan end zone.
Yeah, and that area where the flag was thrown is right where the injured Stampeder is.
Jim Davis down, and this should negate the Fantu's catch. And Davis trying to walk it off.
Yeah, the training staff came halfway out. If they come out onto the field now and attend to him, that he'll have to go off for 3 plays at the very least.
Holding. Saskatchewan, number 66. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Left guard Chris Best.
Missed 3 games this year, Best, and you can see the takedown. Jim Davis.
Stu Ford into the game, not taking the spot of Wes Cates, and again from the end zone, Durant just gets away, and here is Ford. First man misses, and the Regina product up to the 10.
Pretty good production from Stu Ford, and they get it every time they put him in the football game. Last year, they felt that Wes Cates at this time of the season was so beat up that he could not be effective. And they wanted to play Stu Ford more, give Wes Cates some more rest on the sideline, and he has produced when he's had the chance. Puts Darian Durant in a manageable situation here in 2nd and medium.
Roughriders need a first down. 2nd and 6, quarterback draw. Darian Durant lunging forward, and Keon Raymond with a sure tackle. Looks like he's going to bring Durant down just short of the first down.
Dwight Anderson led the Calgary Stampeders secondary in tackles, but Keon Raymond was very close. They were neck and neck as Anderson gets into it with the offensive line, but that was a great open field tackle by Keon Raymond, because it looked to me like Darian Durant was going to go ahead and get this first down. He had a running lane to his right, but that move, when he tried to bounce back towards the sideline, Raymond flashes and then cuts him down from the legs.
Still the lunge by Durant gets very close, and close enough that Ken Miller's going to send the short team out.
Close enough, but at this point in the field, it makes a gamble much more risky for the head coach.
Wes Cates back into the offense. Stephen Giles will lead the short yardage team out, and Chris Zarka there as well.
Not necessarily the concern being that he doesn't feel that his offensive line can get a few inches and get that push. The concern is what happens if you bobble the snap? What happens if you hesitate somewhere along the exchange from center to quarterback?
Can't make a mistake here. Giles doesn't. First down.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are going to need one of those big plays, and whether it be an Andy Fantus or a Chris Getzlaff, who've had success against Calgary with the deep ball to try and flip this field.
Just the second first down of this opening quarter. Less than 2 minutes to go. And it's Ford again. A little stutter step. He's in trouble. And Charleston Hughes, after first contact by Malik Jackson, let him stop as Stu Ford came out of the tackle well after the whistles had sounded.
Malik Jackson in that linebacking core has been a tremendous run stopper for the Calgary Stampeders. In fact, led the team in tackles. And he gets good penetration there, and the forward progress by Stu Ford is stopped. And once that forward progress stopped, that's when the whistle blew.
So second and long again for the Roughriders. Durant. And it's Stu Ford again. And Ford lost the helmet and gets drilled as Charleston Hughes is all over the football field in this first quarter for the Stampeders defense.
Yeah, the defense for the Calgary Stampeders have really come into their own over the last couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks. It has been a bit of a transition for Chris Jones, the defensive coordinator for Calgary, to try and get the lineup he needs. He had to change his halfbacks midway through the season. He got Charleston Hughes back. He got Tate George back from NFL tryouts. They're really starting to come into their own now. They played aggressively and had the field position advantage early in this game.
So Sakota back in, and Marcus Howell awaits at around the Calgary 45. Not much of wind here. Sakota into it, and a good kick has Howell. Up across the 45 before he gets drilled. Let's check in with Sarah Orleski on the sidelines.
Chris, we always talk about the 13th man here at Mosaic Stadium. Well, we've been monitoring just how loud it can be, because you add in the fact that this is for the chance to go to the Grey Cup, as well as the fact that the opposing quarterback is Henry Burris, and this place has taken it up a notch. We have registered it as high as 103 decibels, which is just less than a rock concert, and that was when the Riders challenged the R.J. Franklin play.
Well, they'll rev up again. I haven't heard anything quite like when the Roughriders were introduced when they came onto the field. Here's a completion, and Nick Lewis has another big catch as Henry Burris looked like he sidearmed that one. And Lewis told the fans he'd be celebrating his first down catches here.
There was some talk during the week that some of the Riders saying they didn't like that he celebrated just a first down.
That's the final play of the opening quarter. Calgary with the edge in the first 15 minutes of the West Final. First quarter stats are brought to you by Tim Hortons. Always fresh, always.
Good news for the Calgary Stampeders. They're starting to establish Joffrey Reynolds. They have more first downs in that first quarter. And I don't think it was, Chris, because Saskatchewan was rusty through the bye week. It's just that aggressive Calgary defense that has made some big plays early.
Hey, it was all Calgary in that first quarter. So in that respect, they've got to feel good, except they only got 3 points out of it.
Well, you want to stay close when you're on the road. This is hostile territory. I think that would have to be successful first quarter for the Calgary Stampeders. Their defense is playing aggressively. And right now, Darian Durant needs a big play. He needs to stretch the field when he gets the ball again to try and loosen up the Calgary secondary.
John Hufnagel's team not only weathered the early storm, they're threatening to add to their lead. There's the late fake to Reynolds, and Burris a toss that's complete. Did he cross the line of scrimmage?
Or did he get the late hit? Burris is trying to figure out, he might have been over the line.
Saw him close last week, straddled the line. I thought this time he had crossed the line, and it looks like that's the call.
And it's where the ball is and where the ball is released.
Illegal pass. Calgary #1. The quarterback was over the line of scrimmage. This is a 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Ball marked on the 36-yard line. We'll take another look at it. Henry Burris rolling to his right. He's over the 35. He's 2 yards over the line of scrimmage when he lets go of that football.
No 10-yard penalty. It's 1st and 20. Back at the 46. Here comes the blitz, but they hand it off to Reynolds. And this time Reynolds not going very far.
John Chick got upfield. And what he wants to do is he wants to make the Calgary Stampeders Joffrey Reynolds, he wants to make him bubble. What that means is to get his shoulder pads facing the sideline and not being able to head north-south. That slows his momentum.
Mike McCullough finished him off. 2nd and 18, and Burris going incomplete. Look for Robbie Bryant, who was tied up with Donovan Alexander. They did some jostling after the ball sailed by.
Henry Burris told me yesterday that the 2 things that he wants to do in this game and what they haven't been able to do against Saskatchewan through the regular season is, 1, he wants to run more. Get outside, press the secondary and the linebackers with his legs, and then he wants to make those big plays. He says there's opportunities. There was during the regular season. We didn't take advantage of them. He said he's got to get down the field and up over the top. They had 1 try to Robbie Bryant, went incomplete.
So they don't go for the long field goal. Burke Dales to punt again, looking once again for the corner, and this time doesn't bite off as much. And where are they going to mark it? Just at the 20-yard line. Early here in the 2nd quarter, Saskatchewan football.
Ollymel's microwavable Asian sweet and spicy chicken wings provide the taste of Asia in 4 minutes. That's 16 hours faster than going to Asia. Ollymel's microwavable buffalo chicken wings are ready by the end of this commercial break. Go, now. We'll time you. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick.
Shop at Safeway. Swipe your club card and play Safeway $1 Million Touchdown to win. You could win $1 million or other great prizes, including the Dirt Devil Designer Series Combo, the new shape of clean. Includes the stylish cone cordless handheld vac and the lightweight cordless brum. Or a Pentax Optio L60 digital camera with 10 megapixel resolution and 5 times optical zoom. Get in the game at Safeway.
Qualify now to win a $15,000 poker trip for 2 to Australia and play in the Aussie Millions tournament for an estimated 2.5 million Australian dollars. Qualify now for free at partypoker.net. Feel it.
Closed captioning is brought to you by SportCheck. SportCheck. Shop online at sportcheck.ca. Roughriders will start at the 20, their 4th possession of the game. Their possessions have started at the 16, 25, and 5 prior to this. So
yeah, field position,
big edge for Calgary so far. West Keith straight ahead. Will push the pile with a good run. Up to the 30.
Yeah, they're bottled up, Chris, and they need to get that big play to flip the field. And the one guy they've been able to lean on against the Calgary Stampeders has been Andy Fantus, that inside slot back position. At times, he's been matched up against John Eubanks in this game this afternoon, but you can see the big numbers for Fantus inside. Those are young halfbacks in Keon Raymond in his 2nd year, and John Eubanks, a rookie in the CFL, only playing half the season. if Saskatchewan wants to flip the field, get that field position advantage back, they need a big play out of that slot back.
Said yesterday this is the best he has felt in 2 years. Last year, broken leg. This year, plagued with hamstring problems almost all season long until the final regular season game against Calgary. You saw that the Roughriders are an inch or two short. Let's see if Darren Durant and Ken Miller use this as a free play.
Well, he's got Calgary wondering if he's going to go ahead and just push forward for the first down or use it as a free play, because he's left his offense in there. Darren Durant in the shotgun.
They line up Chris Sarka tight end. Do fake to Cates. Here comes pressure. They look downfield. Jason Claremont can't bring it down. Tight coverage there by the rookie John Eubanks.
The crowd wanted a penalty, and I don't think they're going to get the flag here as Eubanks is in good position, fighting with Claremont all the way down the field, and they do take a shot on it, second and short, and you can see that a little push from Claremont, and Eubanks looking at the ball. They let the players decide the outcome there, and there's the pressure from Shannon James. That forced a little bit of an early throw from Darren Durant.
Fans watching a replay, and
you know what, Chris? If Jason Claremont does not push and grab, then I say possible penalty. But because he did the little push first, they let that one go. I like the no call.
And Giles on 3rd and inches, and Giles will have it easily and get Darren Durant back on the field. The ball came loose, and it won't be Darren Durant. It'll be Calgary football. And there's the danger of the 3rd down gambles. Tate George celebrates.
Let's take a look at when this ball comes out of there, and it is out. Stephen Giles in the back of Joel Bell. That ball out before he made contact, slipped through his arms, and is on the ground right below the feet of Milton Collins there.
Not sure if Collins or Miguel Robida end up with it, but it is Calgary football. They take over on the Roughrider 33. And Burris looks over the middle. And the catch is made by Nick Lewis. Taken down by Tad Cornegay.
In the semifinal, the Calgary Stampeders used that zone read play that we talked about so much over the last little while. Its offensive coordinator George Cortez throws a wrinkle into the play. Usually it's going to the play side, where Reynolds is, let's say the play is designed to go to the left of the formation. They'll continue that way. This time they're going against the flow in this game.
Now we're going to challenge flag out from the Saskatchewan bench. We'll have another look at whether Nick Lewis caught that football. Nick Lewis mentioning that he was here.
Saskatchewan is challenging the ruling on the field of a catch. The play will be reviewed.
He was here to disappoint a province. And we'll review that last catch by Lewis to make sure he did indeed catch the football.
Let's take another look. He had both hands underneath the football. It's just whether or not he used the turf to secure it. Rule the catch. Is there evidence there to overturn that?
7 for 100 in the Western semifinal. Had one 100-yard receiving game against the Roughriders in the regular season.
He had to wait to get his first touchdown this season. Game 17, as a matter of fact.
And still looking for his first postseason touchdown. This is the second challenge for the Roughriders, who were unsuccessful with their first. just about gone according to plan for John Hupnagel's Stampeders in this first half.
Well, it really has. That first quarter, they controlled the football, had the advantage in first downs. Another slow motion look. The right hand, it looked like, is underneath that football. And as Nick Lewis rolls there, I don't think the tip of it ever touched the turf.
Upon review, the ruling on the field is confirmed by replay. It was a catch. The player was not touched down. It will be first down Calgary. Saskatchewan will be charged their first half timeout.
So Ken Miller's 0 for 2 in the challenge department. And it is a Calgary first down at the Roughriders 17. Joffrey Reynolds around the edge and into the end zone. Touchdown, Joffrey Reynolds. 17-yard touchdown run.
Boy, and again, rather than attack the front side of the play, as I mentioned, like they did in the semifinal, the Calgary Stampeders are now attacking the back side of the play. Joffrey Reynolds lines up to the right, but he's going to the back side of the formation, and he has a huge hole around the corner and basically walks into the end zone. Nice changeup by George Cortez, preparing for the Western Final.
13 touchdowns in the regular season, and an early silencer here at Mosaic. Extra point through, and it's a 10-point Calgary lead in the Western Final. Grey Cup is on TSN, and we have it covered better than ever. Live pregame coverage begins at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, with kickoff of the big game at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. The Grey Cup on TSN, Sunday, November 29th. We know Montreal's there. Will we get a rematch? Or will it be the Roughriders and the Alouettes? Joffrey Reynolds has staked Calgary to an early lead.
Got some blocking help on that touchdown from the left side of the offensive line, Ben Archibald and Jesse Newman. But the Saskatchewan Roughriders have overloaded where Joffrey Reynolds lines up defensively, and Calgary, to counter that, is going to the backside. Good start on the road in as hostile territory as you can get here at Mosaic Stadium to have that 10-0 lead early.
Ford and Armstead are deep. And it will be Armstead from his 16-yard line. And he is cartwheeled up at the 35. A huge hit downfield by Milton Collins. But the best field position of the game for Darian Durant.
All-Canadian Ben Archibald has the inside advantage here because Steve Baggs is inside there. Inside position, that gives Archibald leverage. He gets there and then goes to the next level to make Tad Cornegay bubble to get to Joffrey Reynolds. That forces him to be way too late. Reynolds in the end zone to make it 10-0.
Has to be a sense of urgency on that Saskatchewan offense. Durant wants to go downtown, and a flag flies. Keon Raymond in coverage up against Chris Getzlaff, and they'll call pass interference on Raymond.
Pass interference, Calgary, number 25. First down, Saskatchewan.
Chris Getzlaff's going to line up inside position here. Slot back, run the one-on-one on Keon Raymond. So he goes down the numbers and really nothing fancy, just trying to get up on top of him. The ball thrown, and Raymond with little contact. Getzlaff goes down.
Turns out to be a 27-yard play. There's that zone read Saskatchewan style, and Chris Sarka is taken down. A good tackle there by Shannon James.
Let's go back to that Joffrey Reynolds touchdown, and the reason the Calgary Stampeders are up, you can see the defensive backs and Omar Morgan, what they get to look at as Joffrey Reynolds gets those shoulder pads low and powers into the end zone. First contact made right at the goal line.
3 for Zarka. 2nd and 7. 4 receivers wide side. Durant's going to look that way and throws a completion. A first down. The grab made by Andy Fantus.
Andy Fantus going to fight his way back to the football. 2-3 hard steps to come back and separate from the defensive back. Come up with this catch. You can see the separation he creates. I believe it was actually Shannon James from the linebacking core that he got the one-on-one, but that's receiver 101 to come back to the football.
First down at the Calgary 38. Pressure off the edge. Durant will step up and take off and is dropped. Tackle there by T. George when it looked like it was opening up, and there's the quarter blitzing there, Brandon Browner.
The reason they could, Chris, is because Rob Bagg, the wide receiver, had come into motion. He had come down here and crossed the field like this. So Bagg, from the wide receiver position, number 6, is all the way over the middle. So Brandon Browner thinks, well, I'll just go ahead and get after the quarterback. Bagg happened to be open on the play. Darian Durant did not see him.
Durant with a couple on the ground, 2nd and 8. Low shotgun snap. Pass for Fantus. He's got a first down. Ducks under Shannon James to the
11. Mention this matchup off the top of the show. When Andy Fantus is the 3rd receiver, the inside receiver to the wide side of the field, he will be matched up on the linebacker, Shannon James. You mentioned his success the last 2 games against the Calgary Stampeders, both over 100 yards.
2nd catch of the game for Fantus. And a first down, Saskatchewan. At the Calgary 13, Bagg in motion. Quarterback draw, and Durant stumbles and falls at the 10. Thought he had more.
I don't think Chris Jones wants to get this matchup too often with Shannon James. So this time in that play where Darian Durant ran the ball, I just want to show you what they did to change it up. They put Keon Raymond on Andy Fantus and bumped Shannon James out to Chris Getzlaff. Trying to create a different matchup. Darian Durant ran the ball.
7th play of the drive that started at the Roughrider 35. More pressure. They screen it back. Chris Getzlaff, touchdown. They beat the blitz, and for the 5th time this year, Chris Getzlaff has a major score against the Stampeders.
You're right about that blitz call. There's Milton Collins, and to the right of your screen is Brandon Brown in the corner once again coming on that corner blitz. And what a great call by the Saskatchewan Roughriders to screen in behind the blitz of the 2 secondary players for the Calgary Stampeders. Take advantage of it. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
Hodge the extra point, and the Roughriders back in it.
What a nice call by Paul LaPolice, offensive coordinator. There's Brandon Browner and Chris Getzlaff. Watch as Brandon Browner comes on his 2nd straight corner blitz right there. They're going to let him go. Getzlaff waits patiently, then gets out into that screen area and walks in the end zone. That's just tremendous play calling from the offensive coordinator. Take advantage of the aggressive play from the Calgary defense, and you do that with screen draw. There's the screen.
7 plays, 75 yards, 7th touchdown of the year for Getzlaff and 5 against Calgary. Including that 65-yarder, their first meeting, that just over a minute to go, 65-yard touchdown. Summers lets it hit the turf. And now, fumbles. Calgary got back on it. I think, yes. Big hit on Demetrius Summers, and Jarrell Freeman is a demon downfield.
Was he ever? 9 special teams tackles in the last 3 games, and Jarrell Freeman causes that one to come flying out of there on Summers. Calgary Stampeders get it back. I still love that play call by Paul LaPolice, offensive coordinator, as the chess match continues between he and Chris Jones.
Flag down, and there must have been motion there as again the fans get amped up. And the 13th man contributes another penalty against Calgary.
And that enthusiasm again created.
Legal procedure. Calgary number 62. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
3rd penalty for Jesse Newman. But the Darian Durant drive and the offensive response has got the crowd back into it at full volume.
2nd procedure call. 1st and 15. Once again, Joffrey Reynolds to the 25-yard line. Keith Shulligan in on the tackle, along with the other defensive tackle, Marcus Adams.
You heard Sarah talk about the decibel meter and how high it gets, like a rock concert. Watch how Henry Burris will have to react here. Burris has now got to use hand signal. He'll get everybody started with that right hand. There's the right leg to lift up to get the ball from center. And that's what Saskatchewan's defensive front is going to go off when he lifts that leg.
Second and 8. Burris has time, now runs out of it. Ray Williams, the middle linebacker. As the momentum shifts here at Mosaic.
Coverage sack for Saskatchewan because Henry Burris does not have a target, but Williams comes from the backside of the formation. If Henry Burris has an open man, Williams doesn't have time to get there, but he comes all the way, wraps around, and gets to Burris because all of his targets are covered down the field.
4th sack of the year for the middle linebacker, Ray Williams, 3 against Henry Burris.
Momentum has just shifted.
And the Roughriders will get great field position, a high, short kick. And will Burkdale's get to it? Armstead hops on it. That'll be a 5-yard, no yards, and Saskatchewan's going to have the football at the Calgary 40. But Armstead left that one lying around a long time, and Burkdale's could have picked it up.
And Dales is aggressive on plays like that. When he shanks a punt, he'll go after the football. But that'll be the 5-yard, no yards, because he wasn't the only Stampeder close.
No yards. Calgary number 9. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's John Cornish, and tremendous field position for Darian Durant as the momentum shifts in a big way in Saskatchewan's favor all of a sudden.
So just a 28-yard punt by Dales. Roughriders go back to work on offense. Double tight end formation. Armstead around the corner, kicks it outside. And good defense there. A great stop by the middle linebacker, Tim Johnson. When it looked like Armstead had something going.
Yeah, he had one more guy to get around the corner on. That was Tim Johnson, and couldn't do it. And it was the pursuit from that Calgary defense that pays off in the backside hustle.
So Armstead's gain limited to 6. 2nd and 4. Sarka again lines up with tight end. And here's Stu Ford. Trying to get to the first down stick and falls forward, and he'll be close. We'll see where they mark it. Had to get to the 30.
Now playing that first quarter, Stu Ford sort of hesitated in the backfield, tried to make a couple of guys miss. He was more deliberate in that run.
Comes up just under a yard short. Looks like we may get a measurement, and that will give Ken Miller a little more time to deliberate. Do you kick a tying field goal, or do you keep your offense on the field?
Well, it depends on how short Stu Ford is here. It's like inside of a yard. I think inside of a yard, most teams pretty comfortable, especially in this end of the field, to go ahead and try. But Stephen Giles has fumbled in this game in short yardage.
Calgary was 7 points off that turnover. Kanji stays on the sidelines, and the offense remains on the field. And Darian Durant remains a quarterback. And again, it's Stu Ford in behind the quarterback. Ford the handoff, first down. From the 40 to the 26. As they stew here at Mosaic.
Well, I tell you, it's always a bit of a gamble when you take the football off the line of scrimmage and go back and hand it off deep in the backfield. The upside is you can get a crease and make an even bigger play than that out of it. And it pays off for Ken Miller as he gets the first down and moves the chains.
So Ford remains in, getting a lot of first half reps. Takes another handoff. About the 21-yard line. At the bottom of the pile is Charleston Hughes.
So Brandon Browner, who whenever he's on the short side and he's over here just to the right, he's on the short side of the field. This time they leave him and don't blitz him.
So it'll be 2nd and 6 when we come back. The 3-minute warning here in the Western Final, first half. Now we're 3 minutes away from Rona at the half. Dave Randorf on site along with Jock Climby, Matt Dunnigan, Chris Schultz. Have I mentioned that Jock Climby's a Queens alum? And Schultz and Matt Dunnigan at the meeting last night, I thought they wanted to suit up for this game. Here's Durant, first down catch. Andy Bantus again. Third catch, third first down. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the Calgary 11.
This Saskatchewan offense not phased when they get down early. Not phased when they get down late. Darian Durant throws a strike here. Andy Bantus in the matchup on Shannon James.
Bantus, the top Canadian in the 2007 Grey Cup game. Battle of the last 2 Grey Cup winners. Direct snap, Wes Cates. Not fooled. The Calgary defense shuts the door.
And even though there's been a rule change heading into the 2009 season about the Wildcat, that's about as close as we've seen throughout the season. Not much Wildcat from any team.
Malik Jackson stepped up and filled the hole.
But this, a direct snap to Wes Cates. And the fake by Darian Durant like it was a high snap, and Malik Jackson there, not fooled.
The power eye behind Durant, and now all 4 go in motion to the right side. Underneath and through the hands of Bantus. You don't often see that. And the drive stalls and the field goal unit comes on.
You know, Darian Durant has been calm, cool, and poised throughout the season in all the big games. He gets just a little bit antsy in the pocket here. Watch how Durant, in his first start in the playoffs, hopping. Not really settled in. That ball is high and hard and really not catchable in that short little throw from Darian Durant, who looked a little uneasy in the pocket on that one.
So Kanji will try an 18-yarder and get this game tied with 2:19 left in the first half. 10-10 the game as we check back in with Sarah Orleski.
Thanks so much, Chris. Darian Durant's parents, Betty and Israel Durant, have made the trip up from Florence, South Carolina in order to see their son play. Israel, this is the first time that you have been here at a Saskatchewan Roughriders game. What have you thought of the atmosphere so far?
It's great, great, great. I've been watching it on TV and on the web, and I tell you, you can't believe, you can't beat this. This is great.
You talk to Darian after he warms up before every game. What did you talk to him about today?
Just be calm, as usual, to be calm, keep his feet calm, and keep his mind clear and calm. That's all.
Thanks so much for this. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Chris?
Yes, he told him to keep his feet calm last week as well. You think maybe he might have to call Dad again.
Well, and that was the advice. And his dad has a great football background. Of course, Darian Durant's brother plays for Jacksonville. And you could see his feet a little antsy, jumping up and down a little bit in the pocket there. That's why that ball is high and hard there. Darian Durant just needs to calm down. He's been pretty good in this first half. 8 of 11, 75 yards, has some momentum back. But that last play, that's what Dad was talking about. Just relax in that huddle, settle in, and just let your natural athletic ability take over.
Back-to-back 7-play scoring drives, a touchdown and a field goal, and a squib kick to one of the up men. And is that Randy Chevrier or Tim O'Neill? Tim O'Neill, the center, with his first kick return. Would have been further, but he's suffering with turf toe.
And wasn't sure what he had in his hands. Although that's one of the offensive linemen that does handle the football, so we'll give him that because he's the guy who touches it every play as he gets it here, but he doesn't have it in this scenario very often, in fact, never. And you can see
sure hands.
He picks that up, covers it up with both of those big mitts, and he just heads up in there like a fullback and says, I'll just protect the ball and I'll let Henry Burris and those guys handle it from here on in.
Former University of Calgary Dinosaur. Congratulations to Blake Nill and his crew headed to Laval, along with Pat Sheehan's Queens Golden Gales. And so we can remind you that next week we'll have the Desjardins Vanier Cup for you from Laval, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
And I got to say, because of the Queen's influence in this booth, I'm taking Calgary in that one.
I thought you might. That's all right. Big for Reynolds. Burris in trouble again. Ducks under Banks. And now they bring him down as Ray Williams cleans up.
So far, the Calgary Stampeders, until that last play, had run the zone read play 3 times for 59 yards. This time, Steve Baggs is going to play it slow. He's going to slow play this. And now he's going to say, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to keep it? I'm going to stay in between and run you down, Henry Burris. That's why the play doesn't work. The first time Saskatchewan has had success defensively against the zone read play by the Stamps.
Second sack of the first half of the Riders defense, and now 2nd and 12. Burris the long out, Robbie Bryant out there against Donovan Alexander, who won't let him by, stopping him short of the first down.
Last week in the semifinal, Henry Burris had so much success against the Edmonton Eskimos and Greg Peach, the defensive end, because Peach, number 90, was committing to this play. There he is on the right side of the formation. Watch how committed he gets. He lines up there. Now he's going to slow play it to the inside, much like Stevie Baggs did, but he'll take that extra hop inside direction on Joffrey Reynolds. That's what he was doing in the semifinal, and Henry Burris was making him pay to the corner. Stevie Baggs stayed wider, and that time cut it off. Calgary has to punt.
Another poor kick by Dales. Armstead at his 25, backpedaled a bit, and is dropped at the 22. 37 for Burke Dales, who averaged over 50 last week in the West Semi.
Let's go back and show you one more time what Stevie Baggs did and how it was different from how Greg Peach played it. Baggs going to step up, but he commits for a second, but he won't go any farther than here, which gives him the angle outside to go and help out on Henry Burris. Now he waits. He knows that Reynolds doesn't have the ball and has the speed to cut him off.
So now 84 seconds for Darian Durant to go to work. Try and give his team a halftime lead. Rusher Durant throws the out for Cates. He's taken down immediately by Dwight Anderson, the top defensive player on the Stamps this year on the corner.
I don't know if Darian Durant is really looking to points. He needs at least a first down here to avoid giving up points in a quick turnaround before halftime. This may be the most resilient football team in the league in 2009. They just don't go away. Down 10-0. They've now tied it up. This is a big down.
2nd and 7. Durant over the middle, and he's got Rob Bragg. First down catch. Up at the 39-yard line. First catch of the game for Bragg.
Darian Durant sits in that pocket, and look how he settles his feet and steps into the throw. That's the difference. That's what Dad Israel was talking about. Perfect there in his delivery as he just takes a little step up into the pocket, delivers a strike.
What contributions from Bragg and Getzlaff, who combined for 100 catches this year. Two good young Canadians. Here goes Durant taking off. It'll be a first down, and he steps out at the 52-yard line. 38 on the clock.
Now they can think points, as Durant looks like he's motioning to get maybe the bunch formation. It breaks down on the side. His protection starts to come apart to his left side of the formation. Tate George goes up and high and wide on Gene Makowski. Makowski plays that perfect, sacrifices himself to get Tate George outside. That opens up a lane for Darian Durant.
12-yard run and a first down that stops the clock. More pressure, quick hitter. And Getzlaff a catch just across midfield. They'll mark him at the Stamp 54.
In these plays, Darian Durant has listened to his dad's advice. He is more deliberate. He has settled his feet in the pocket. He's stepping into the throws, even that short one to the sideline. So Israel's advice over the last couple of games is starting to sink in for Son right now.
Tim Johnson to the sidelines. Dwayne Carpenter in on the Calgary defense on 2nd and 6. Time for Durant. Fantuz can't bring it in. And good coverage there from the safety, Milton Collins. Looked like Fantuz and Durant might not have been on the same page.
Darian Durant at the short side of the field had a wide open Jerron Walker, but locked into Fantuz to the wide field. Now Fantuz came back, attempted to come back to that football. Saskatchewan's going to have to kick it away, and you wonder if Calgary in this case would load up the line of scrimmage and try and get the block here.
Louis Sakoto has been in late in the year for the injured Jamie Borum.
Just one returner back.
Is an onside man for the Roughriders here. Tad Cornegay racing downfield, but Howell will play that and bring it back across the 15-yard line.
Does not want to give up a single there, so Howell tracks that one down. Just before the half in the semifinal, the Calgary Stampeders' Demetrius Summer gave up a point on a kickoff that he didn't have to, that there was some concern may hurt Calgary down their line. It didn't in that second half, as they, of course, win and advance. But good first half of football here. Joffrey Reynolds established for the Calgary Stampeders offensively with 60 yards rushing. But the momentum switched back. Darian Durant got a couple of drives going.
9 seconds left, and Calgary's not going to take any chances. They dominated the first quarter and then got a pushback from the Roughriders in the second quarter. As the clock drains, and the opening half of football here at Mosaic in the 2009 Western Final, they head to the locker rooms, tied at 10.
At the half is brought to you by Rona, proud sponsor of the CFL. Rona doing it right since 1939. And these two teams have been doing it right back and forth in their season series. We're all locked up. 10-10 at the half as we welcome you into our little corner of Mosaic Stadium. Dave Randorf with you, John Climby, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz. Our first taste this year of this 13th man here at Mosaic, and it is truly something, isn't it?
It's outstanding to be here, and the Calgary Stampeders are hating it.
Well, Dave, I had the pleasure of calling 2 games here this football season, and this is kind of like old hat for me now. This is outstanding.
This is the 3rd meeting, or actually they met 3 times during the regular season. It was 30-14 in the last game of the regular season, Schultze, but before that, the 2 games were decided by 1 point. So no surprise that we're all tied up, and these games are decided by little things, aren't they?
Little things, Dave, and I mean, the absolute smallest margins between completing a pass or having a tip and having to settle for the field goal. I thought one of the key plays in the first half was Sean Lucas. He kept the ball away and it forced Calgary to go for the field goal, a problem that they had in the previous Saskatchewan game, a problem that they had also in the Edmonton game. So instead of going in for 7 points on the road, you have to settle for 3. We have a tied game. Now the other issue, and John Hufnagle has to tell his guys, we have got to play with better technique. We have to believe in our technique, because you can list it right here. 3 holding penalties, 2 illegal procedures, 2 pass interference penalties, 1 illegal pass, 1 no yards. The Calgary Stampeders have given the Saskatchewan Roughriders almost a whole football field. They do that in the second half, they're not going to the Grey Cup.
No question that penalties have killed Calgary's momentum. But, you know, speaking of momentum, Chris, there was a turning point there in the second quarter, I felt, where Saskatchewan went all the way down the football field and scored. What was interesting, I went and stood in the sideline so I could watch it. Calgary played man-to-man defense all the way down the field. And let me tell you, that is hard on defensive backs. And it causes things like pass interference penalties. It's just so hard to stick with your receiver, play in, play out, when they know what the defense is. And the other thing that it does, it allows them to send pick plays. And here we saw Fantu pick up a quick little out pattern on a pick play. And then this play for the touchdown, where Getzlaf hangs in, acts like he's blocking. The guy who has him man-to-man thinks, oh, he's staying in the block, I can rush. When you know you're getting man-to-man, you can call your plays accordingly, and Saskatchewan did.
Saskatchewan's been beating Calgary defense on the blitz all season long. You know, but Henry Burris and the zone read was a big question mark coming in this football game, and a big aspect of the Calgary offense. Henry Burris has 552 yards rushing this season, and they dominated in the first quarter. And I mentioned first quarter because after that, the momentum's switching. And here's what Henry can do. He can keep the ball and gut you up the middle, and he does that better than any quarterback in the league this year. And then he can pull the ball once more time out in a little sally and find a receiver coming across the green, and Nick Lewis for a big first down. And then once you start playing that side of the football field, you can hand it off, and Joffrey Reynolds can blast it in the end zone. This is what the zone read does for you. It gives you many opportunities. But Saskatchewan, as we heard Glenn Suter and Chris Cuthbert talk about it, guys, they figured it out in the second quarter, and they started dictating to the Calgary offense how they can run that zone read play, David.
Henry Burris was 0-4 in the playoffs going into this game a year ago. He's won 3 in a row since, trying to make it 4 straight and get to the ultimate home game. And how about Chris Getzlaf? He has 9 career touchdowns, 6 of those against Calgary.
To take this, the aforementioned penalty problems you saw from Calgary clearly in evidence. And how about Joffrey Reynolds? What a first half.
Ken Miller said yesterday he was nervous. Let's see how he's feeling today. He just spoke with our Sarah Orleski.
Coach, 10-10 going into the half, a slow start for this group. What was it that turned around as that second quarter got going?
Well, you know, they got their touchdown and on a turnover, and then we were able to establish some field position and get some momentum with our offense. And then our defense was lights out after that. So we have some great momentum going right now. We just need to do it for 30 more minutes.
People always talk about whether or not that week off can hurt a team. Do you think that that contributed to the slower start?
Oh, I don't think so. I think you give them credit. They played some special defense, and I think that's what the deal was.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Joffrey Reynolds led the league in rushing, 1,500 yards, but he wants a Grey Cup ring.
This SportsCenter update is brought to you by Peoples. This holiday, say, I love you like never before with a gift from Peoples.
All right, second half coming up from Regina, back inside the SportsCenter newsroom. I'm Corey Warren. The next edition of SportsCenter comes your way at 11:30 Eastern Time. Let's get you up to speed with what's already happened in the CFL playoffs. Alouettes jumping all over the lines early. Anthony Calvillo deep for Brian Bratton. 31-11 Montreal at the half, but early in the third quarter, Ryan Grice-Mullen on the punt return finds a hole and takes off. It is a new record for the longest return in CFL playoff history, 105 yards, and it made it a 13-point ball game. The Owls respond, though. Next possession, Calvillo airs it out to Kerry Watkins, Cavillo's record-tying 5th touchdown pass of the game. Owls win 56-18. They advance to the Grey Cup. They will await the winner of the game you're watching right now. We'll, of course, have a full wrap-up on SportsCenter.
10-10, you knew that it was going to be a close game. The players had talked a lot this week about how you guys had made adjustments. How would you evaluate that first half?
Well, I thought it was a half of 2 different quarters. We had the momentum, got some things done in the first quarter. They took the momentum away and put 10 points on the board in the second quarter. In the second half, I believe what team's the most physical for the next 30 minutes is going to win this game.
I was going to say, penalties have been a problem for your team so far, but what was your message at the break?
Well, basically, we cannot expect to win football games by having 9 penalties in one half, and we got to clean that up, and I'm sure we will here in the second half.
Thanks for this.
All right.
TSN is the exclusive broadcaster of the Canadian Football League and proud home of the Western Final and the Grey Cup. Not any closer to knowing who's going to play against the Montreal Alouettes next Sunday at McMahon. As we get set for the second half, first home Western Final for these fans in 33 years. Even more rare, it's been 38 years since the Western Final pitted Saskatchewan against Calgary, and this when the first ever one-game showdown in a Western Final between Saskatchewan and Calgary.
And Darian Durant was talking about that this week. He said, we want to make our own history.
DeAngelis kicks it off, and this second half underway with Jason Armstead returning the football. And Armstead finds a crease. Out across the 45, a cutback. Look out! Jason Armstead, full throttle, and Carpenter saves a touchdown.
John Upnagel talked at halftime about how it was 2 different quarters. The first quarter was all Calgary. The second quarter, Saskatchewan grabbed momentum. Well, they just grabbed it in the third. Jason Armstead with a tremendous return and the cutback right here against the flow on Shannon James. And I like at the end of the play, protecting the football with both hands.
Dwayne Carpenter was the first guy downfield and the man who saved the touchdown. 75-yard return. Durant to the end zone. Incomplete. And Darian Durant really got rocked by Tay George.
You know, the timing was off on the play from the get-go. Wes Cates was trying to run a little play action here. And when Cates got kind of crossed up there with Durant, and there was penetration from Tay George off the edge, this is where he gets the big hit. There was a communication issue at the other end as Fantus broke his route off.
2nd and 10 from the Calgary 19. Durant has an open man, and Adam Nicholson close to that first down chain, brought down by Dwight Anderson. Adam Nicholson with the catch, his first of the year in his first start for the Roughriders this year.
Playing wide receiver on this play and taking advantage of the coverage that will be drawn towards Chris Getzlaff and Andy Fantus, as he just sits out there on the sideline right by the first down marker and has just enough.
North Bay native and a former Ottawa GG. And it wasn't up for a first down, so it's first and goal from the 10. Cates, nothing there. And Wes Cates has had trouble establishing anything on the ground here today.
I mentioned he was just shy of 1,000 yards on the season. I talked to Ken Miller about the season Wes Cates had this year, and he said, you know, it wasn't flashy. He didn't get his 1,000 yards, but he's been so effective in protecting the passer in the passing game. And right now, the Saskatchewan Roughriders in that first half throwing 60% of the time on first down, and that's where he becomes that much more important.
7 games without a touchdown for Cates. Hasn't scored in his last 8 against his old team. 2nd and 10. Quick hitter. Fantus. Touchdown. And is there a more important weapon for Darian Durant than number 83? Extra points good. 7-point Saskatchewan lead on the first possession of the second half.
Pre-snap motion from Andy Fantuz is going to give the Saskatchewan Roughriders a chance to see what the coverage is, because in behind there you see Keon Raymond, number 25, going with every step of Andy Fantuz. Now Darian Durant knows that he's got the rub there with Wes Cates going outside, Fantuz coming inside underneath. It's the pre-snap motion that gives away the fact that Calgary's playing man-to-man coverage.
Everybody back home, hey mom, hey baby. Keep watching.
26 catches in 2.5 games against Calgary this season. Here's Summers trying to duplicate the return of Armstead, but brought down by Donovan Alexander at the 35-yard line.
That pre-snap motion. Fantuz starts here. Now watch how he comes out of the backfield. He moves around, and then now he knows, because it's man-to-man, he's got Cates right there going out. He's cutting underneath that rub, and because it's man-to-man, Darian Durant knows it from the pre-snap motion. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
Ball back in Joffrey Reynolds' hands. John Chick will bring him down across the 40 at the 43. Again, great first down production by Joffrey Reynolds.
Calgary more of a 50-50 type of team on first down against Saskatchewan throughout the 3 games of the regular season. John Hufnagel, because Joffrey Reynolds has had so much success, his offensive coordinator, George Cortez, will go with the run more on first down.
Stamps had only 40 yards offense in the second quarter. 2nd and 2. Reynolds. Tad Cornegay there, and I think they stopped him short. Looks like it'll be 3rd and about a half yard as Tad Cornegay and Marcus Adams converged.
Their tale of 2 quarters as the Calgary Stampeders got Joffrey Reynolds involved in the first, had 112 yards of offense in the first quarter, and then disappeared a bit in the second. You can see how the opposite is true for the Riders.
And it's 3rd down, and Stevie Baggs trying to tell John Hufnagel, the Calgary bench, it's 3rd and 2, but it's 3rd and less than a yard. And the offense will stay out.
Comes the Thundersticks.
Not much of a push. And then ahead for the first down. Stood up for a brief time before he moves the chains.
Well, he went off that right side that was just jammed up by the Rider defense. And he had enough time to stop and regroup, because he didn't have the first down there. And then he fell off that pile and got it in the second effort.
Yeah, anxious moment, but then plenty to spare for the leading rusher among quarterbacks this year. Now a quick hitter, and Jermaine Copeland's got his first touch of the ball in this Western final.
And this is what it sets up, and this is where Calgary is at their best. They get Joffrey in the first 2 plays of the series, and now watch what they're going to do with Joffrey Reynolds on this play to start the second set of downs. They go play action. Open up Jermaine Copeland, who didn't have a catch in the first half, and get him involved. Off play action to number 21.
Again, 8 on first down. Lots of options for a second down play, including Joffrey Reynolds. And again, he's going to get stopped short. John Chick is there. Tad Cornegay stepped up, and it's going to be 3rd. And it looks like about a yard.
Middle linebacker Ray Williams is going to float to this football and run past Tad Cornegay, the linebacker that is closer to the point of attack. He fills this in a hurry.
Williams has had a big night, 15 tackles against Calgary on the season. Has a sack in this game and has stopped Reynolds a yard short again. So another big gamble coming up. This one a little bit longer than the last. Despite this noise, it's Saskatchewan that missed on a third down gamble, not Calgary so far today. 3rd and 1, and again a Burris push behind Tim O'Neill, and that should be enough.
Henry Burris is getting this on the second effort on every play. Stevie Baggs trying to influence the official. He already put his foot down. I think the spot of the ball will give Calgary the first down.
Burris 0 for 2 here at Mosaic in the postseason. 7-7-1 against his old team.
That didn't beat them this year in the regular season.
Here comes the blitz, and they get to Burris back to the 52. There is a flag down. Keith Sholigan got to Henry Burris first. But again, a penalty flag's on the field down in the secondary.
Keith Sholigan lines up over Tim O'Neill, the center. See what this penalty is. It's a big play that may come
Illegal
off.
contact on the receiver. Saskatchewan number 15. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Lance Fraser called for illegal contact. The man who led the Roughriders in interceptions this year.
Jermaine Copeland tried to cut inside. Pretty close.
Joffrey Reynolds again. And Lucas this time, and a lot of green jerseys surrounding Joffrey Reynolds.
3 games, over 100 yards for Joffrey Reynolds, 112 in the first game 1 in August, 129 on 18 carries in October, and then the last one, 107 yards on 17 carries, 356. And that 10-yard average for Joffrey Reynolds against Saskatchewan's defense.
72 yards on the day, and now 2nd and 7. Burris a pump and looking deep down the sidelines and incomplete. Wanted to hook up with Robbie Bryant, and the veteran Omar Morgan was in his hip pocket.
This week, Ken Miller had asked some of the veterans to step up and address the team about the importance of this football game, in that it's the first time they've hosted in 33 years. Omar Morgan was one of those veterans who missed the Grey Cup championship year in 07 in Saskatchewan because he had gone to the Edmonton Eskimos. And he talked about how big of a void that has been over the last couple of years because he missed the championship season. Big play there by Morgan.
Sandro trying another 47-yarder. This one into a slight breeze. And he puts it up, and it is short. And they'll concede the single point. So the wind factored. And now it's a 6-point Saskatchewan lead. Closed captioning of the Western Final is brought to you by Sport Check. Sport Check. Shop online at sportcheck.ca. So a single for Sando DeAngelis. 17-11 the score. And the Roughriders take over at their own 39. They have 17 points on their last 4 possessions. Darian Durant steps up, takes off, and is stumbled down at the 47-yard line. And he'll come up smiling. Thought he had a little bit more.
Good conversation with Darian Durant yesterday. Asked him whether or not he felt any nerves about his first playoff start. He has 22 starts, which is really amazing when you consider he has led this football team to first place finish. First time in such a long time. 14 wins in the 22 starts, but he said none of that matters unless we win the West Final and move to the Grey Cup.
Scampered for 7, 2nd and 3. And it's Cates. Tay George brings him down short. Now, Roughriders will be looking at a 3rd and 1. Maybe a little bit more. Tay George is a good afternoon for the Calgary Stampeders. He was not with the Stamps when they won the Cup last year.
It's taken him a while to settle back into that yard off the ball after coming back from his NFL tryout, and he played pretty well in the semifinal, had 3 tackles against Edmonton, but over the last 3 weeks has really felt more comfortable, it appears. See how close Saskatchewan is here.
So it will be a 3rd and 1 decision for Ken Miller. Mentioned Darian Durant. He will come to the sidelines, and Stephen Giles will come on. He often is in contact with Henry Burris, who has been a bit of a mentor. He watches tape of Anthony Calvillo every week, and now those are the 2 men standing in his way of a Grey Cup title. Stephen Giles back in, and they're going for it on 3rd and a yard. He's fumbled in this situation, and this time the surge is probably enough for a first down. Looked like he got close to the 50, and it is.
You talk about Darian Durant, Chris, and I thought what was maybe the most impressive and really is an indication of the intangible, that leadership ability, the leadership qualities that Darian Durant possesses, is during the bye week, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, a lot of the players went home, as every team does in their bye weeks. Darian Durant, who had some interception issues early in the season, went back, stayed here in Saskatchewan, studied himself, self-evaluated on the videotape, and looked at every mistake he made and how he could make it better.
First down. Armstead's going to throw. Rob Baggs wide open. And dropped at the 18-yard line. Milton Collins saves a touchdown. We saw Armstead in Winnipeg in the Labor Day rematch throw a touchdown out of that formation.
And we've seen this play, and Paul LaPolice, as Armstead comes on that reverse, the offensive coordinator calls this play in the first quarter and has Armstead run it. This time he has him come across the formation, make it look exactly the same. He pulls up, and he finds a wide open Rob Bagg, and you're right, Collins saves a touchdown.
Armstead 2 for 2 as a passer this year. Wes Cates. And Cates stopped after another short gain as Robidet and Hughes bring him down.
Darian Durant right after that pointed to his chest saying, that was my fault. That's that same play that Calgary likes to run on the zone read type play. He thought he should have pulled that one and kept it to the outside. He had a lot of room to run there. It goes, he wanted to pull this out, and he ended up giving it. Or maybe Wes Cates just took it.
So just a yard, 2nd and 9. Durant, Bagg, touchdown! Rob Bagg!
This all-Canadian receiving corps comes through again.
Getzlaff has a touchdown. Mantouz and Bagg. Been a pretty good weekend for Queens, hasn't it?
Nationality makes no difference. This is just good football players. Rob Bagg is running against all-star corners.
This is the formula that the Roughriders have used all season long. The Canadian Air Force. Extra point. And it's a 13-point lead. Got a flag on that convert.
Offside. Calgary number 27. A 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
24-11. They're loving it here in Regina. Product Rob Bagg on the corner route here, runs it absolutely perfectly and takes advantage of a mistake from Dwayne Carpenter, who's dropping deep trying to help Keon Rabin. He's right there. He needs to get deep and help out on this corner. He gets caught looking in the backfield. That leaves Raymond in a one-on-one, but a perfect route on the corner by Rob Bagg. Top Canadian for the Roughriders this year, a guy who made the team in 07 and then told the coach, I'm going back to school, so he was not part of the Grey Cup championship team of 2007. Sakota kicking it downfield. It's a 24-1 run here for the Roughriders, and Demetrius Summers trying to change that up across the 35. Stampeders will have the football when we come back.
Bob, my office now.
There's nothing like the smell of fresh cooked bacon.
When it's real, you know when it's real.
Introducing Wendy's Bacon Deluxe. With thick cut Applewood smoked bacon on hot, juicy beef.
H is for many things. H is for home. H is for habitat. H is for human, heroes, and help. H is for harmony, and H is for hope. Hope for wonderful moments today, hope for even more wonderful moments tomorrow. H is for hybrid. Introducing the future of luxury. The all-new HS250H from Lexus. The world's first hybrid-only luxury vehicle. Pursue the moment.
Join us next weekend for Grey Cup Saturday as TSN gets you ready for the big game with 8 hours of Grey Cup features, behind-the-scenes coverage, and the 2009 Vanier Cup. It all gets underway live from Calgary at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. Will we be painting the town red or green?
Congratulations to Montreal. They'll be back.
In a big way. Henry Burris trying to silence the crowd, looks downfield, and James Patrick has the interception. Playing center field. Uncharacteristic of the way Henry Burris has played through last season and this. He tries to get all that momentum back on one play, and this is a throw he should never have made. James Patrick is just flowing, reading Henry Burris and moving into that position as he goes across and just reads the eyes and the throwing motion of the quarterback. No way Burris should have let that one go. Mentioned last week in the wake of the loss in the regular season finale that you can only take what's given against Saskatchewan. You can't get greedy. Here's Deron Walker taking that swing pass close to a first down.
Let's go back to the touchdown and the reason why Henry Burris has got greedy all of a sudden. There's Bagg again. Here's the help you're supposed to get, and it's supposed to be over the top here. I'll show you. It's 3 deep for the Calgary Stampeders on that play, who are only rushing with 3 guys. Now watch, they've got 1 deep man there. They've got 1 deep man there. They're missing the 3rd deep guy in the zone coverage. That's Dwayne Carpenter. That's where Rob Bagg goes. Touchdown Saskatchewan. And that forces a bad decision on the next play by Henry Burris at quarterback.
Walker with 10 on a first down and a fumble. And Stu Ford picks it up and tries to make something out of it. Look out. Miguel Robidet lowered the boom. That was the kind of greeting I got from Miguel Robidet yesterday when I mentioned the Queens beat Laval.
Miguel Robidet getting a chance to play for Mike Labinjo, who is here in support of his team but not dressed. The hero from a year ago in the playoffs, and Miguel Robidet has made a couple of big plays. He made one in the first quarter. It's a good one to put Saskatchewan in the second and long, try to quiet this crowd.
Robidet, who took the job away from Mike Labinjo, who's watching on the sidelines, a postseason hero for Calgary a year ago. Second and long. Durant rolling. Robidet trying to stay with him. And Durant runs out of time and wisely throws that away.
Good decision by Darian Durant. I mentioned those interception issues early in the season. He had 21 on the year, which was a concern, but only 9 interceptions of the 21 in the second half. He's got better at it. Of course, a young quarterback like Durant, as far as experience and starts goes, he's going to have his days. He's going to have his peaks and valleys, but a good decision here. Didn't have to take the big hit, though. Could have done that a second earlier.
That's it.
So Sakota comes on. And Marcus Howell awaits.
Hey, hold him.
Ball on the turf. And it'll be a no yards call. As Howell moves up to the 44-yard line, that's a 5-yard penalty. Well, the TSN Chalkboard is brought to you by Olimel Microwavable Chicken Wings.
Early on, Calgary had success with that zone read play. And let me show you how Stevie Baggs has started to talk them out of it. He's slow playing it, coming up to the line of scrimmage. That way he has the ability to go in either direction. He can stop Joffrey Reynolds inside or stay wide and run down Henry Burris. First 3 plays, Calgary ran it. They ran it in the opposite direction. They had a little success. Stevie Baggs shut the door on their last attempt. Let's see if Calgary goes back to that type of play. They've got lots of time, and Henry Burris does not have to go after all of the momentum in one throw.
He's got Bryant to catch at midfield. That's close to a first down. Looks like a gain of 9 for Robbie Bryant, who had just 1 catch 2 weeks ago here in the showdown for first place. Touchdown last week in the West Semi against Edmonton, as did the other former Bomber in the offense, R.J. Franklin. Second half possessions for Calgary, a missed field goal, the interception. And now they've got the ball, second and less than a yard at midfield. They take the reverse, and trouble here. Baggs couldn't bring it down, but Ray Williams does. And they go from second and inches to third and 6. Ray Williams has his second sack of the game.
Yeah, and rather than just try and get that first down, they try and see if they can fool the Saskatchewan defense. But guess what? They are not fooling the guy that we just chalkboard. Stevie Baggs, who is not fooled by the play action, takes care of his responsibility first and buys some time for his teammate in Ray Williams to step up and make the play and finish off Henry Burris. But the play is made by the patience of Stevie Baggs.
Baggs with 14 tackles and 3 sacks in the first 3 meetings against Calgary. Another short kick, and Armstead will take it at his 20. Little stutter step. And up to the 30, and he skips out on the final play of the third quarter. It was a big one for Darian Durant and the Roughriders. Third quarter stats are brought to you by Tim Hortons. Always fresh, always.
Calgary Stampeders had that first quarter dominated. They had 5 first downs to 2, but since then Saskatchewan grabbed the momentum, and that Jason Armstead returned to start the second half really set up that points and got Saskatchewan going.
If you joined us late, it felt like Calgary might win this game in the first quarter, but they didn't take advantage of field position and domination, and somehow Saskatchewan settled in and now have taken control.
Again, throughout the regular season, the Saskatchewan Roughrider team has been so resilient. You know, it seems like when they've been down by 10 points, that's been when they've been in their comfort zone. They come all the way back, and Saskatchewan 10-0 in 2009 when leading after 3 quarters.
2-score game at the moment. Durant looking for more, and he's got Andy Fantews behind coverage to the 40-yard line. Milton Collins with the thud at the end of the play, but Fantews continues to chew up the yards.
And the ball absolutely perfect from Darian Durant. Andy Fantuz uses what's called a stem to force Eubanks way inside, knowing he was going back to that corner out, ball put right on the money. Working on another 100-yard game. He's had 2 against Calgary this year. 39 on that catch. First down at the Calgary 41. Keats straight ahead. Dropped at the 39, and it's been the only part of the offense that really hasn't clicked today. Wes Keats on first down. Well, they have been more pass first down than run. In fact, it's 16-8 on first down, passes to run for Ken Miller's offense, where he gets Wes Keats in on the blocking protection. 16 of 23 in his first playoff start. Darian Durant. Most of the damage done today has been on second down. Durant with the screen, and Wes Keats is met by Brandon Browner and tossed down by Justin Phillips, the Laurier product. We saw Brandon Browner in that first half get caught a couple of times when he went on the blitz. And this time and since then, he has just hung back there when he's on the short side of the field. And this time, because he's patient and hangs back, he is in position to stop this screenplay from Saskatchewan. Now Conji will come up and attempt what should be 42, 43-yarder. Trying to make it a 16-point game. Conji missed 5 of his last 13. All the misses from outside 40. Doesn't miss here. And it's now 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point convert lead. First time this season, Fantuz, Bag, and Getzlaff have all scored in the same game with 4. Here's Sarah Orlesky.
Well, Chris, that trio of Canadian receivers has played well against Calgary all season. I spoke to the Stampeders defensive coordinator, Chris Jones, before the game, and he told me that he thinks that they're underestimated, that they don't get the credit that they deserve. He said that his defensive backs, though, have to do a better job of reading their formations. And that's one of the reasons he thinks they've been having so much success against that Stampeders defense. Well, they continue to have it again today. So far, 11 catches, 185 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the 3 Canadian receivers.
And 8 touchdowns between the 3 of them, or among the 3 of them this year against Calgary. Again, one of the up men takes it. That's Teo Johnson. A big tight end that brings it back to the 40. So it's now a sense of urgency for the defending Grey Cup champions. Henry Burris got to get something going. Yeah, in that third quarter when he threw the interception to James Patrick, was a little early to start trying to push the ball deep down the field. Well, he's starting to run out of time. John Hufnagel understands that. He's going to have to start picking up yardage in chunks and trying to go after this Saskatchewan defense. Still hasn't hit triple digits in passing yards on the day. A lot of steamboats. Anybody open? Robbie Bryant is. And Bryant has a first down up near midfield as Ray Williams knocks him out at the Calgary bench. Saskatchewan now is going to be more patient defensively and make Henry Burris put together long drives. Time is on their side now. Just 4-man pressure as Burris doesn't have anybody in his face, but he also doesn't have anyone open until late in the play when Robbie Bryant finally finds that sideline. Up at the 53, Joffrey Reynolds. And Reynolds with another first down run and more to the 39. And not late enough to abandon Joffrey Reynolds. No, not late enough, and lots of time left for Calgary Stampeders. I know their fans are on the edge of their seats hoping that Calgary gets a chance to repeat and we see a rematch. They've got some work to do, but there's time to do it. Up to 90 for Reynolds, 3 runs of 15 or more. First down, that ball gunned and intercepted as a receiver falls, and the veteran Eddie Davis, the former Calgary Stampeder, with his first interception of the year.
The 15-year veteran Davis with the second interception of the game. NFL Sunday Night Football continues tonight on TSN as Donovan McNabb and the Eagles roll into the Windy City and take on the Bears. Live coverage begins immediately following this game. 11:42 left, fourth quarter. Eddie Davis with his first ever postseason interception.
What's up, Jess? There it is for you.
And this is
St.
19th
Louis.
game.
We about to get to that cup and bring it back, baby.
Two great cups. Right place at the right time for Eddie Davis. Missed the last 2 games of the regular season. The veteran.
Here's Wes Cates, his best run of the game. 15-yard carry.
And Davis knew he would be matched up on Jermaine Copeland. The 2 veterans going at it. Copeland in the slot back position. You know it's been that kind of night for the Calgary Stampeders when their all-Canadian receiver with 12 touchdowns on the year and 1,200 yards slips and falls down in front of Eddie Davis. The receiver falls down. He's there. 2 veterans going at it. Davis wins that battle.
Davis, one of the vets who spoke to the team this week, and apparently he was the firebrand, the guy that really revved things up. Now Cates again. And Wes Cates to the 39. And better just clarify, Eddie making his 4th interception, so he has had postseason picks and 38 in his career now. Guy who has been around, and Ken Miller, a valuable leader for Ken Miller and the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Looks like the Calgary Stampeders may have got a penalty after the fact that the crowd reacts to.
Sexual conduct. Calgary number 27. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Now Brandon Browner. That has been a problem before.
And the wheels starting to wobble a little bit for the defending champions.
All CFL corner. Drawing the flag and a 15-yard penalty. Gives the Roughriders a first down at their 49. This time the fake and a little dump pass. Another first down for Cates. Darian Durant is point guard that time.
Exactly what it looked like, and you could see by the jump in their step that the Saskatchewan Roughriders can taste a berth to the Grey Cup Championship. They're second in the last 3 years. Wes Cates hits that hard one-hand catch. Little dump pass like a point guard from Darian Durant. Control of that huddle.
And Shannon James limps off to the sidelines. The Sam linebacker, that will cause an adjustment as Dwayne Carpenter comes in. First down, and it's a steady dose of Wes Cates, who's now making his impact on the game.
It's been a long time coming. 33 years since this province has gotten a chance to buy tickets for a Western final. And they're taking full advantage of this party. There's lots of time left, however, and Saskatchewan has to take care of business to wrap this one up. There's plenty of time. Canadian Football League, over 8 minutes. 6, 7, up to 10 possessions.
And Wes Cates has 58 yards on this drive. First down.
But how about the work of Ken Miller, the head coach of this football team? Was tempted heading into the season to look at free agent quarterbacks like Casey Printers, like Michael Bishop, who were available, who had experience, and he held the line. He said, nope, we've got some good young talent, but we have to develop them. Darian Durant got the start in all 18 games. He had some highs, he had some lows, but he has them poised to take a trip to the Grey Cup Championship.
Has any quarterback ever gone further in 1 year than Darian Durant? Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. Charleston Hughes has the sack.
And Chris, that is an example of his maturity in such a short amount of time. Because there's a guy who understands where they are in this football game. with the 27-11 lead. Yes, it's tempting to go ahead and add to that lead, but rather than force it, rather than cause a problem, maybe an interception, and give Calgary some momentum, he'll take the loss.
And the fans standing for Durant as the offense is stopped, but another key drive that gets him into field goal range, and Kanji will try and force Calgary to come up with 3 touchdowns to catch them. And that one is blocked. It'll bounce down inside the 5. And it will remain a 16-point lead. 7:16 to go, fourth quarter. Jim Davis got a hand on it, so no 3 points for Saskatchewan. However, Calgary backed up at their 5. Long field and a long road now to the Grey Cup in their home park. Jermaine Copeland with a catch in front of Eddie Davis. Let's take a look at the field goal block.
It's going to be Jim Davis, defensive lineman, in a stand-up position right over the center. Gets his hands up. I believe it hits his left hand.
It looked like Kanji got a very high trajectory on that. Burris, Copeland again. He's been quiet, but back-to-back first down catches gets Calgary out of a big hole.
Saskatchewan will allow the underneath routes, intermediate 5 to 12-yard routes from the Calgary Stampeders here. They don't want to give up a quick strike.
3-man front for Saskatchewan. And underneath, incomplete. Bryant with Omar Morgan on his back.
Philosophy now is the Calgary Stampeders are going to have to put together long drives, put it underneath, eat up a lot of this time on the clock, or try and force it into coverage deeper down the field. The Saskatchewan Roughriders will back off.
Look at that stat. That's why Calgary's in trouble today. 13 yards on second down. Second and 10. And that one caught, but immediately Lance Frazier with the stuff on R.J. Franklin. And now third down and about 5 or 6. And does John Hufnagel leave the offense out there?
Yeah, I think you've got to. Too many big plays needed by Calgary.
And as soon as they saw the offense stayed out, the fans as one rise to their feet. And they're going to convert. Joffrey Reynolds has a first down up near midfield. And into Rough Rider territory at the 54. Big third down conversion.
Joffrey Reynolds going to just slide out of the backfield. Everyone dropping off for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Again, being patient underneath. And there's Reynolds out in the flat to pick up the first down and keep Calgary's hopes alive.
5.5 to go, so there's plenty of time. Pressure, and Burris is sacked again. Off the edge, John Chick.
Oh boy, 3-man pressure, and John Chick gets there. Number 97 is one of just 3 going after Henry Burris. Out and around the corner. Working on Jeff Pilon.
4th sack of the game for the Riders. First for Chick. Calgary goes no huddle. And out of the backfield is Reynolds again. And he's close to another first down as they'll mark him. They're going to mark him at the 45, so he'll be a yard short.
No matter what happens in this game and what the result ends up being, Joffrey Reynolds can certainly be proud of his season. Even if this is the last game for the Calgary Stampeders, again, he showed up and played tonight.
Third and over a yard, and Reynolds on the sideline. Summers in the backfield. And Burris on the delay has a first down to the 40.
It was a broken play. Burris just made it up, and he just took off and made the play on his own.
Summers went the wrong way.
Absolutely. A broken play, he took off.
Well, they're lucky to convert. Back-to-back third down gambles. 9th play of the drive. Chance not done yet. Burris throws it out incomplete. Bryant well covered by Omar Morgan again, the veteran corner who's been here 9 years, but the 1 year he was in Edmonton was the year the Green and White were Grey Cup champions.
One of the guys who talked to his teammates this week. Eddie Davis was the other. They play often on the same side. Both have contributed here so far tonight. And they can feel it.
2nd and 10. Short pass to Bryant, and Ray Williams stops him after only 2. And 3rd down again, and this is going to be 3rd and 8. They've converted twice on this drive. Can they do it again? On the final play before the 3-minute warning. This could be ball game. Burris stands in and fires incomplete. Turnover on downs. Well, it's jubilation here in Regina. Reminder that we did get on the air late, and we apologize for that today. For those viewers who want to see the game in its entirety again, we will present it on TSN2 at 7:30 Eastern and on tsn.ca beginning at 9 o'clock Eastern tonight. 2:39 and the clock running now. 4th turnover of the game for the Calgary Stampeders. Check that 3rd turnover and 3 in the last 4 possessions for the Stamps.
It's the showdown between Darian Durant and Henry Burris that was the talk of the town through the week of preparation. The veteran in Henry Burris coming off his Grey Cup championship season, and they were sort of deferring who might have the most pressure on them. Henry Burris trying to get Calgary back into the championship, back at home in Calgary, or Darian Durant in his first start in the playoffs. So far, like the regular season, Darian Durant has won that matchup.
2nd down, Cates just across the 45, short of the 1st down.
And if you look at their body of work through the entire season, you'd have to say Anthony Calvillo is the best one in the league, Henry Burris the 2nd best one, and you're looking at the next one in Darian Durant.
Keeps passing all the tests, doesn't he? What a year he's had. The question was, and Henry Burris asked the question too, how's he going to handle his first postseason game? Now all the pressure's on him. Well, he handled it in very impressive fashion, especially after falling behind 10-0. Clock is stopped here, 2:03 to go. Stamps will need a quick score, a 2-point convert, and a short kick.
Dave Dickinson working with Henry Burris, likely advising him now that got to pull out all the stops. Push the ball. Clock is the enemy.
It's remarkable in an 8-team league how tough it is to repeat. Argos in 96, 97. Before that, the dynasty of the Eskimos, but Calgary 2 minutes away from having their repeat dream end. The return to the 35. Timeout for the TSN turning point in this Western final.
3rd quarter, Saskatchewan Roughriders grab momentum, and they grab a touchdown to put them in the lead for good here when Rob Bagg runs the corner out with just 3-man pressure from the Calgary defense. 9 dropped off and covered. Bagg beats him. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
KSN Turning Point brought to you by Wendy's Baconator, the official hamburger of the CFL. That made it a 27-1 run for Saskatchewan and a 16-point lead. Burris to the air to Copeland. A catch and out to stop the clock after a first down and 11-yard gain. Neither Jermaine Copeland or Nick Lewis have caught touchdown passes here at Mosaic since 2006.
There was some ups and downs with this Calgary football team this year. It seems like at times they were waiting to switch on.
Burris guns it downfield. R.J. Franklin behind coverage. He's got it. R.J. Franklin with the catch. They'll mark him at the 9.
Hang on. How he gets in behind coverage in this situation in a ball game, you wonder, but Franklin takes advantage of Henry Burris extending the play by bouncing around in the pocket just in front of Lance Frazier.
56 yards, excuse me, Glenn, and there's still some life in the champs.
Don't go away.
Burris over the middle, and it's a completion to Lewis. He'll be stopped at the 4. Trying to score as quickly as possible.
They need a lot of big plays, though. Calgary Stampeders, a touchdown and a 2-point convert, and then the onside kick. And 1:28 to go.
And the clock is running. Second and goal. Burris for the end zone, and that's incomplete. Ball got knocked down by somebody at that Saskatchewan line.
I wonder if it was Stevie Baggs, who's had a heck of a game here tonight.
And once again, Burris and the Stamps are looking third down in the eye. So that's one of 4 scoring plays they need. Need 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point converts,
and
they get the first 6.
And the onside kick. Sorry, Chris, the onside kick, another big play they need. So they need the 4 scoring plays. Copeland takes advantage of the rub here, goes to the outside. He gets a touchdown. There's one. Now they need the 2-point convert.
Intercepted. James Patrick.
Everyone contributes on this football team. James Patrick had a quiet year with just 2 interceptions through 18 games. Some question whether or not James Patrick was having a good season. Coaching staff loved what he was doing. He had 2 interceptions in this game in the West Final.
Of course, he had the big one to clinch the overtime against the Lions. That helped secure first place, home field. And do you think that made a difference today, home field?
Yeah, I think so. And I talked to the Stampeders about their opponent, and they said, you know, it has been impressive, and you have to give them credit. When they lose a starter, the backup would step in and not miss a beat. They've been resilient when they've been behind. They've always come back and continued to fight. The Saskatchewan Roughriders just will not go away. They were down 10-0 in the first quarter, and Ken Miller's squad battled to make it a 10-10 game. Darian Durant hung in there. And what a third quarter he had.
Now the Stampeders successfully executed a short kick 2 weeks ago here, and then another that looked like they had gotten possession only to be called offside. So here we go again as DeAngelis will kick it 10 yards. They reverse a couple of times and he puts it in the air, but this is Andy Fantu's out of bounds, but it'll be Saskatchewan football. And they're 73 seconds away from taking John Hufnagel's team's locker at the 2009 Grey Cup.
And what a step in the development of Darian Durant. I mentioned, fans, you may be looking at the next one, the next elite quarterback. And I believe with the intangible that he possesses, that ability to lead, it doesn't take long in a conversation with Darian Durant to understand that, you know, if you talk to him, you want to put pads on and go play for him.
Kickoff out of bounds. Calgary number 12. One of the options is to take the ball where the ball went out of bounds. It will be first down Saskatchewan.
And Calgary, get ready. Rider Nation is on its way.
Well, it was going to be home field advantage for the winner, whichever way this went.
Yeah.
72% completion for number 4, who is just going to kind of wind it down here. Cates stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Well, the first ever Grey Cup matchup, Saskatchewan and Montreal. A lot of firsts. First time these two have dueled in 38 years in a Western Final. The first home game in 33 years, and now Ken Miller will lead his charges against Mark Trestman's Alouettes in a first ever Grey Cup matchup. Alouettes won both, but the second was close. And it was interesting that Mark Trestman mentioned after that game, we just beat a championship caliber team. It'll be third down.
The Canadian receiving corps for the Saskatchewan Roughriders coming up big again. Andy Fantus, Chris Getzlaff. I know there's been talk about changes in the Canadian ratio as we move forward. I think the league is pretty good just the way it is.
Here are two teams going to the Grey Cup who, on a regular basis this year, started more than the minimum, started 10 Canadians. For some reason, this is the quietest this crowd's been all day, and we're in the final minute. Maybe just soaking it all in as they wind it down to 1 on the play clock and call the timeout.
I think they're on the phone calling travel agents. Calling home, get the bags ready. We're heading to Calgary. What a job Ken Miller has done throughout this season.
Again, the Grey Cup matchup is set. The 97th Grey Cup. Alouettes Riders. And we'll have it covered better than ever. Live pregame coverage begins 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Kickoff of the big game at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. The Grey Cup on TSN, Sunday, November 29th. Saskatchewan, Montreal. Marcus Howell from his 15. And he gets out of bounds. 18 seconds left on the clock. John Hufnagel mentioned there have been plenty of potholes in the road this year. And the road ends in Regina for the defending champions. And it doesn't get sweeter for a Rough Rider fan than beating a former Rough Rider quarterback.
It's really when the rivalry between these two teams began back in '05 when Henry Burris signed with the Calgary Stampeders. They're having fun now.
Screen to Summers. Demetrius Summers and Mike McCullough. Ray Williams will bring him down. One more play, perhaps. Summers shake it up. On the play is still got an injured Stampeder, and what's Andre Prue got? Henry Burris wants to know why there's a flag. Summers took a knee again. Mom and Dad are here, and I'm sure that's who he's pointing at. After a shaky start, he settled those feet and took a stranglehold on the Western Final.
There is no infraction on the play. The Calgary player was injured on the play.
Andre Prue thought there might have been somebody just taking a knee to stop the clock, and clearly Summers was in some difficulty. Pat Clayton helps him to the sidelines.
They said he couldn't play at North Carolina. Here's Mom and Dad. They said he wasn't good enough to play at the pro level. Every time Darian Durant is faced with a challenge, he overcomes that challenge.
This it? Burris over the middle. Copeland the catch. No time on the clock. There will be a new Grey Cup champion in 2009. The Riders ride to McMahon for next week's final against the Alouettes. Let's join Sarah Lesky with one of the heroes of the night, Darian Durant.
Well, Chris, I think that I might have the most popular person in Regina right now. Darian, I mean, put it into words, Cam, what this means for you right now. Everything that you've kind of overcome in order to get to this position, both for yourself personally and as a team.
Man, this is a tremendous reward for the hard work that I put in personally in this team. We had a lot of doubters coming into the season, of course, and you know, I'm just glad we were able to prove a lot of people wrong, and you know, I'm just so happy right now. I'm kind of lost for words.
We described the first half as a tale of two quarters. What changed for this group in the second quarter?
Well, I mean, we came out, we just tried to figure out what they were doing in the first half, and you know, we saw that they were trying to play a lot of man against us, and they wanted to challenge our receivers, and you know, that's what we welcomed, and that's what we did.
Hey, you're a great leader, man. You're a great leader. Hey, leader.
As soon as the game was over, we saw you look for your parents in the crowd. We had the opportunity to talk to them. This is their first game here. How much does it mean to you to be able to share something like this with them?
Man, to be able to accomplish this in front of my parents is special. You know, my father, this is his first time up here, and I tried to warn him about the atmosphere, but, you know, to be able to accomplish this in front of my family, in front of our home crowd, it's just a great feeling. I love you, Saskatchewan.
How much to be able to beat the defending Grey Cup champions? You've had success against them this season, but to be able to beat them going into this Grey Cup, then facing Montreal, how much confidence does it give this group?
Well, we were always a confident bunch. You know, they always say to be the champs, you have to beat the champs. And, you know, we did pretty good in that area. now we have one more game. We can't really stick to this game. We still have one more.
Thanks so much for this. Enjoy it.
Thanks for having me.
4 times they met the defending Grey Cup champions this year and did not lose. 1-point win in Calgary, the overtime thriller that ended in a tie in Calgary. The showdown for first place was a convincing win, and so too was this as they win 27-17 in the Western Final.
And they did it in this game, in the final, like they've done it all year. As a team, whether it be the Canadian receivers, the offensive line providing protection, the veteran in Eddie Davis, who comes up with an interception in a key moment, the young leader in Darian Durant. Everyone on this football team takes their turns making the big play. That's how this team has been successful. That's why they're going to the Grey Cup.
Let's join Dave Randorf with the Western Final Trophy presentation.
Thank you very much, Chris Cuthbert. Hello to everybody here at Mosaic Stadium. The final, 27-17, Saskatchewan over Calgary. Congratulations to both teams who put on a great show for fans coast to coast when these two went ahead, but there is only one West Division champion. And for that presentation, I introduce to you the Commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Mr. Mark Cohan.
Saskatchewan, are you ready for a road trip? I am proud to present the Western Division Final Trophy to your Saskatchewan Roughriders.
No, and Ken Miller, head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, going to the Grey Cup. You told us yesterday you had a sense that this team could accomplish something special today. Give us all a sense, and viewers coast to coast, what this means to this city and this province to win this game today.
Well, I'll tell you, we are just so happy, so ecstatic. I'm so happy for the players, so happy for our coaches, our organization, and the entire province. Rider fans everywhere.
It took a long time to get this game, 33 years, and you win it in style over the defending champs. I could ask you about many performances on your team, but I'd like to ask you about one. One guy who was making his first playoff start, standing right beside us here, Darian Durant. A word about your quarterback.
I'll tell you what, he is absolutely marvelous. He's done things that nobody thought he could do except for us, and I was just so proud of him.
Congratulations on the win, and we will see you in Calgary, Coach.
Thank you so much. Who do we play?
The Montreal Alouettes, and they look pretty good. But so do you. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are West Division champions.
It'll be the Alouettes, Ken Miller, and your Saskatchewan Roughriders in the Grey Cup next Sunday.